Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the unified command center and how you can truly master situational awareness. We're talking about SOCVue, and honestly, this is a total game changer for one of the biggest headaches in modern IT. If you're in the trenches, you know exactly what I mean. Enterprise data is chaotic, right? It's huge, it moves at warp speed, and it's scattered everywhere. But what if we could take all that noise and funnel it into a single cohesive pane of glass? That's exactly what we're unpacking today.
Think about it. How do you defend an enterprise or even just keep it running smoothly when your data is literally scattered across a dozen different screens? We've all been there, battling massive alert fatigue, frantically clicking between isolated tools, just trying to piece together a basic line of what's happening. When things go south, those precious seconds you waste logging in and out of consoles, well, that's the difference between a quick fix and a front-page data breach. You simply can't protect what you can't see all at once.
So we really need to nail down what we mean by situational awareness. In a cybersecurity and infrastructure context, it's not just about having access to logs. It's about comprehensive visibility and, more importantly, the correlation of all those complex elements, your security posture, infrastructure health, and compliance, all talking to each other. The whole point is to enable rapid, effective decision-making. We're busting down those silos so your tools actually work together to give you a real-time, complete picture of your digital landscape. To see how this unified approach actually works, let's start with security exposure. Check out this number, 15. In a sprawling enterprise environment, this is an incredibly specific, low-risk score pulled straight from CrowdStrike. Think of the thousands of log entries, endpoint pings, and vulnerability scans firing off right now. This system grabs all that overwhelming data and just distills it down into one immediate metric. Boom. At a single glance, an admin knows their overarching threat level is totally manageable. And the way we get to that simple score is pretty wild. We're looking at a 3D correlated risk field mapping everything out. I know, it sounds a bit sci-fi, but I promise this isn't just some flashy graphic. It's a highly dynamic visual translator. It maps the exact relationships between active exposures, endpoints, alerts, and identities across an X, Y, and Z axis. You can see exactly where known vulnerability, like CVE 2024-3094, intersects directly with live endpoints in, say, Chicago, Phoenix, or Singapore. It literally brings the abstract idea of risk into a physical, understandable space. This perfectly sets up our baseline status, which is the absolute bedrock of situational awareness. You can't fight a threat if you don't know what normal looks like, right? Here we can see the overall environment condition is perfectly healthy. We've got policy compliance hitting 93.1%, endpoint coverage at 80.6%, and a super solid average zero trust score of 78.9. Once you lock in this secure, optimized baseline, any sudden drop acts as a massive early warning system.
Now, let's pull the camera back and look at the bigger picture. We have VMware operational health on one side, tracking cost and capacity, and Catalogic security events on the other, tracking active threats. This side-by-side view proves something absolutely crucial. A real command center has to handle both sides of the IT coin. Operations and security aren't living in different universes. They deeply impact each other. You don't have true situational awareness if you're only staring at a security feed while your virtual machines are quietly dying from resource exhaustion. Let's dig into that operational side for a second with this VMware integration. We're tracking an animated 3D infrastructure heat map that monitors 36 virtual machines and 7 ESXi hosts across different environments, like the primary and DR data centers. By mapping out these risk-weighted hosts on a 3D plane, admins are able to hit a staggering 99.970% availability. You literally watch where compute loads are spiking and can intervene way before they trigger a critical fault. But hey, situational awareness isn't just about avoiding disasters. It's about extreme efficiency too. Because the system is constantly crunching this VMware data against a 6-week baseline, it actually identified $3,274 in potential monthly savings. How? It automatically flagged low-usage shutdown candidates. It found VMs in the primary data center that basically had zero CPU, memory, and network activity for 2 weeks and stamped them with a 98% confidence score for a safe shutdown. That anchors the tech in concrete, undeniable business value. Okay, let's pivot slightly. We've covered threats and efficiency, so now we got to talk compliance and risk reduction. Enter the Blanco multi-console evidence topology. Once again, we're looking at data transformed into a 3D spatial map, but this time it's tracking compliance paths and assets across global sites: North America operations in Dallas, Secure Lab in Seattle, and European processing in Frankfurt. It visually connects all those consoles to show exactly which endpoints are compliant, which have warnings, and which are completely out of bounds. When you break down those 220 consolidated evidence reports, the outcome distribution tells a very clear story. Most of it is great, 194 successful data erasures. But it's that tiny slice of 12 failed and 4 incomplete wipes that demands your immediate attention. This isn't just some boring audit log buried in a spreadsheet. It's a live, interactive pulse showing exactly how effectively the organization is destroying sensitive data at the end of its life cycle. Which brings us to an overarching erasure success rate of 88.2%. And you might be wondering, why does this specific metric matter so much? Because tracking this centrally is absolutely critical for stopping stale data leaks. Think about it. If an old server down in Dallas gets decommissioned, but the data isn't properly wiped, you've got a massive liability on your hands. By monitoring this success rate alongside active threats, the enterprise guarantees that compliance isn't just some yearly checkbox, it is a continuous, rigidly enforced operational standard. Now, no matter how tight your ship is, threats are eventually going to test the perimeter. That transitions us right into the active threat landscape captured by Catalogic. Look at this severity distribution. In just a single 24-hour period, the system flagged dozens of events, including 24 high and 8 critical alerts. The sheer overwhelming volume of this threat traffic proves exactly why manually reviewing logs is mathematically impossible for human analysts. You absolutely need a unified aggregator to make sense of the noise. Let's zero in on those critical events, because this is where the unified view totally saves the day during a crisis. Imagine watching this unfold live. Down in the Dallas data center, a critical alert pops on file server 01, rapid file extension changes and entropy growth detected. Literally seconds later, a correlated alert fires, probable ransomware activity on finance shares. We are watching the fingerprints of an active ransomware attack happening right now, targeting the most sensitive financial data the enterprise holds. When alerts like that fire off, every single second counts. The system instantly taps into the SuperRanner ransomware situational awareness dashboard. It uses multi-site 3D consolidation to visualize the lockdown of the threat in real time. The attack path to containment automatically traces the blast radius, tracking exactly which user accounts are behaving maliciously and which storage paths are under fire. It instantly shifts the enterprise from just passively watching to actively fighting back. And here is the resolution to that nightmare scenario. The system isolated the rapid entropy growth and triggered an automated containment action. It instantly blocked the compromised user account, demo/jcarter, neutralizing the threat and locking down those finance shares. The security team gets a perfect step-by-step audit trail of exactly how it went down, from the very first detection to absolute lockdown, all without ever clicking out of this unified interface. So let's take a quick breather and summarize the immense power of what we've been talking about. The unified operation advantage is all about bridging the gap between operations like VMware and security platforms like Catalogic and Superna. It takes all that messy, isolated data and correlates it into interactive 3D topologies, transforming raw logs into actionable containment paths. Plus, it's simultaneously proving your compliance with tools like Blanco and actually tracking real-world cost savings. It's the sheer power of seeing the whole shebang, from server savings to blocking ransomware, in one single view. I want to leave you with this one thought to chew on today. If a critical threat, like rapid entropy growth on your finance shares, popped up in your network right this very second, how many screens, logins, and log exports would it take for you to finally see the full picture? If your answer is more than one, well, it might be time to fundamentally rethink your situational awareness strategy. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer today. Keep learning, stay secure, and I'll catch you next time.